What is up, y'all? I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Who wouldn't want a cool-ass dirt bike like this shipped directly to their door for just $1,700? I mean, I think the biggest question is it gonna be worth it? Some people might even want to have 2 or 3 of them. And the thing is it gonna give me problems? Is it gonna break down on me? Is it gonna be too much to set up? But in this video, I'm going to tell you 3 things you definitely need to do, and 3 things you definitely don't need to do. You probably heard this from everybody and their mama already, so I'm just going to make it quick and short. First thing, change the oil, because it comes with shipping oil, not real oil. You want to get some 15W40. There's a lot of different discussion on which type you should get. I would recommend motorcycle specific oil, because I noticed when I put that in there, it makes the biggest difference. So first thing, change your oil before you even ride it. Second thing, people say, oh, it vibrates a lot. Get you a nice spark plug. There's a recommendation for an NGK spark plug. Personally, I use it, the E3 version. I recommend. Number 2, getting a good spark plug. 3, battery. Go ahead and change that leaky ass acid battery with the tube that you're probably going to forget to put on there anyway. Because if you don't, it's going to start leaking acid on your bike and you have to clean that up later on. So just go ahead and save yourself a headache. So the first thing you need to do, change the oil, change the spark plug, change the battery. As far as the battery that comes in there is a 6 amp battery. I think it has probably about maybe 100 cold cranking amps, maybe a little bit more than that. So you're going to need a more powerful battery. You want to keep your Hawk, or be able to start your Hawk without having to charge it up almost every time you use it. So rather than getting another battery, you get another battery. Just go ahead and get a good one to start with. The one the manual recommends is a 9 amp hour battery, which I think is probably going to be the best. It's not going to be too much power you're going to pull any fuses or anything. Just make sure you check the polarity before you install the battery. In my case, I used the 8 amp hour battery, and it was a little bit larger than the original, so I was able to take out the metal cage that holds the battery. The smaller battery they put in there. So if you get the proper amp hour battery, it's probably going to take up some of that space in that battery compartment, which it was originally meant to hold. 3 things you don't need to do when you get your Hawk. This is what kills me. People say you need to adjust your valves right off. Well, you don't. They do seem like they're going to be tight when you first go to inspect them. But that's only because the space in between them is only 0.002 of an inch. That's 0.2 thousandths of an inch. It's like flimsy, thin sliver, like a piece of aluminum, basically. So thin, it just flops in the wind, like a leaf thin material, even thinner than a leaf. So that's the recommended 0.003 and 002. It's so small that if you check it with the improper gauge, you're going to think it's too tight, and you're going to go adjusting it. It probably doesn't need to be adjusted. Well, it will be. It will require an adjustment later on when you get closer to it. Maybe I would say 300 miles. It makes you feel comfortable to do it at an early time. Go ahead and inspect those valves at 300 miles. Maybe have it changed by the time you get to 500 miles. Just make sure you use the proper filler gauge. Then, another thing you don't need to do right away is Loctite every bolt. People say, oh, loosen up every bolt, or take out every bolt, Loctite and put it back in before you ride it because it's going to vibrate loose. Well, if you change the oil and spark plug before you start riding it, then those vibrations are going to go away. I mean, I rode my bike, I changed the oil right away, but not the spark plug. And after I changed the spark plug, it starts to ride so much smoother. So just that spark plug alone is going to make that difference. If it does have a chance of rallying a boat out, that's probably going to take care of that. I mean, I've never had that issue. The only bolts or things I had right out are things that I added on after, not anything that came on the bike per se. And then the third thing you don't need to do. That's the first and second. I lost track. Valve adjustment. You don't need. I heard people say, "Oh, I just got my Hawk. I taken out every bolt. I Loctite them. I put them back in. Adjusted the valves, and now I'm ready to ride." Well, of course, they changed the oil too, and that's part of it. But the valve adjustment when you first get your bike, and taking out all the bolts and Loctiting is just a little bit over the top. And then one more thing you don't need to do is change the carburetor right off the bat. I mean, the Hawk carburetor is pretty decent once you get everything tuned in. Not as far as adjusting, because you only have a little screw where you can richen it or make it leaner. Or actually, it's an idle screw. You can adjust the idle. That's all you can do. There's a lean, rich screw that's embedded within the carburetor. You have to drill it out. And if you look on the phone, people say, "Oh, there's a screw on the bottom of the Hawk that adjusts the leanness of it." But if you listen to that, you're just going to drain the gas out of your bike. What a joke. Anyway, so you don't need to change the carburetor. One big improvement I made is putting a different air filter in there. And I noticed some people will replace the airbox filter with one of those pod filters, and then make a huge difference. Probably because of the quality of the filter. So I would say if you want to improve the performance right away, maybe look at getting a good quality air filter, because the one that comes in there, who knows, just like all the other components, it could be a lower quality. Maybe just to tone down the bike so it can pass emissions. That's one of the ways you wake it up, is add a better quality filter to the bike. I would recommend adding a better quality airbox filter rather than converting it to a pod filter, because a pod filter is going to be another issue you have to worry about. If, for instance, if it gets wet, it's going to affect the performance of your bike. So, 3 things: change the oil, change the spark plug, change the battery. Don't go taking out all those bolts and screws and Loctite and putting it back in, because you're wasting your time. Nothing's probably going to fall off anyway. If it does, just worry about it then. You do some accessories, Loctite those. Number 2, don't go adjusting your valves until the time comes up. Or if you notice your bike starts to lose performance as far as speed, then it may be the valves are getting tight. You'll notice some loss of performance when it's time to adjust those valves. Get the proper filler gauge. Number 3, like I said, it really is a good bike. I mean, just don't go doing more than what's necessary. Just enjoy the bike. Do the things I mentioned first, and that's really going to wake it up. It's going to make that bike feel like a 229cc motorcycle without the that. You really can enjoy it. And then later on, as time goes on, you start to understand how the bike works. You get used to how it feels. I mean, a lot of people get rid of their Hawk before they even get to 100 miles or 500 miles. They do all this work to it, all these mods, and then they realize I don't even like the bike. They don't like riding or something like that. But in comparison, this bike compared to other bikes, I've read about people on the forum that have Harleys prefer their Hawk over their Harley because of the fun factor. Now, flip-flops when you start her up though. You gotta warm up, go in and get suited up. Suited and booted, baby. It's been a little while since we went for a ride.